Right, folks, now that you hopefully have successfully downloaded Torch from the Apple App Store on your tablet or even your phone, the first thing for us is to create a new project in Torch. So what you see here is my profile. I have some projects obviously over here, but yeah, let's just create a new project. There are lots of templates that might be useful for you going forward, but for this one, let's just create a blank project. You can select different images. Surprise, surprise, I'll go for the moon, given our topic, and I'll name the project as solar system. And then we just tap the check mark and off we go. Now we have created the project. And now we want to open it in AR to start the things. So what we're gonna do, well, first of all, and you need to position the anchor, and that is basically the 0.0.0 coordinate for all the assets that you're going to be placing into this scene. And I'll just tap there, and now when we start bringing assets in, they will be anchored to that origin position. Now the first thing, obviously, before we can do anything is for you guys to make sure that you have downloaded the assets that I've provided, and then we need to bring them into Torch. And so there are different ways to do that now. So you see the menu here down at the bottom, which provides different ways to just sync external assets into Torch. So I use Dropbox, but you can also use other services. So this is what I have. So in my Dropbox there is an apps folder, and under that I made a Torch folder, and all the assets that we're going to be using are then here. And once you get to this point, you basically need to download assets into the project. And so therefore this is the slightly sort of boring part of this tutorial, that you need to bring these assets in, and uploading them and processing them into the Torch's asset folder can take a while. Now the other ways, if you don't want to use Dropbox, there are other ways to bring in assets. So if we swipe from the left on this panel here, you will see other options. So obviously I have Dropbox here because I've connected here. If you have other means, like if you want to use files, then you'd have the assets available here. iCloud Drive is another option. It brings up stuff that I have on my cloud drive, but I haven't used that for this. Go back to my Torch folder. You see these here as a list. You might see them as a kind of a grid. I think you can choose by default. They come around like this. And now basically this is all the content, the assets that I've provided, both 3D assets and like 2D panels. You need to bring them into the project one by one. Here you can see the assets if I directly Dropbox, but if I select this project, you can see that only those two that I addressed before have been brought into this project. Now you can bring them directly like this from Dropbox, but then it takes a little bit more time. So what you might want to do, especially if you have storage space on your tablet or whatever device you're using, is that you bring them into the project through the browse function, and one by one. You don't necessarily want to bring like more than a couple at a time, at least that's my experience. It might cause the Torch app to crash, so this will take a little bit of time. So therefore, I hope you guys were able to follow. I'll do this one more time. So you go here, you tap them, and it starts downloading. And you just need to be patient. Once we get these assets in, it's going to be a breeze. So let's follow up in the next part with starting to place these assets actually into the scene. All right, cheers.